Hi, welcome to another episode of Ezium with Praise Osas. This is the beginning of a new season. Our topic today is when the woman earns more than the man. So we had to do this episode due to the popular opinion on the last episode of season 1. Let's grow. Today, we'll talk about something that is common. Let me ask you something very direct. We are not babies here. We are blunt and we are truthful. This is for the married couples only. So single guys, see you on the next one. What happens to a marriage when the numbers change? When she starts earning more than he does? When she becomes the one paying the bigger bills? When she becomes the backbone of the family financially? And the man, maybe without no fault of his, or even by his own action, is still trying to figure it all out. In today's world, this is no longer rare. This is very, very common. Actually, more common than we know. But what is not common is the truth and the honesty that people go through. What happens to the heart of both people during this season? Because money doesn't just pay bills. Money exposes character. It exposes identity. Money tests ego. Money reveals levels of maturity. So today, we are not just talking about income. We are talking about respect. We are talking about character. We are talking about identity. We are talking about partnership. We are talking about emotional stability inside modern marriages. This is for the married couples alone, guys. And above all, I want us to talk today about the foundation of it all, gratitude. Because if you lose gratitude, you lose perspective. And if you lose perspective, you lose your partner. Yes, you lose your partner. Let's be honest. Many relationships were not designed for today's economic reality. No. Traditionally, the man is expected to provide. Yes, that's biblical order. The woman is expected to support and nurture, a help. That is the biblical order. A woman is a help for the man. Genesis 2:18. But life does not always follow tradition. No, it doesn't. Sometimes the wife gets the opportunity first. Sometimes she actually works even harder. Sometimes she earns more. Sometimes she carries the family financially for a season. Sometimes women by their nature are more patient to grow in an establishment, and that helps her become promoted, that helps her get to earn a lot more. Men, on the other hand, we are impatient, looking for the next big thing. Listen, that is not a bad thing, but life happens. And this is where the real test begins. Because the question is not who earns more. No, the question is not who earns more, who brings more money. The question is, can we still respect each other when roles shift? Can the man still love, protect, and provide for his home even when he earns 10% more or 100% less? Now we think provision, protection, and love is an action that must be reciprocated. No. It is a command given to man by God. God, who is only superior to man. Man was made in God's image and likeness. Without apology, woman is an afterthought. That is a conversation for another day. Let's not bore down and get distracted. I think a man without money cannot provide, protect, and love. Go slap a bricklayer's wife who understands her role and earns more money than her husband. You will understand that women need their men not only for what they provide, but for protection. In fact, watch a policeman slap a man before his wife, and you see her reaction. A mature relationship understands seasons. There are seasons when one person leads financially. There are seasons when the other carries emotionally. There are seasons when one builds and the other stabilizes. That is the order. But immaturity turns seasons into competition, and competition destroys partnership. A man's ego can whisper, I feel less like a man. I feel disrespected. I am the man in this house. Oga, a general will tell a battalion say na him be general has lost the war. You don't speak your roles. A woman's pressure can equally whisper, I am tired of carrying everything. There are two women in this marriage. Madam, there are seasons. And guess what happens? Slowly, love becomes silent resentment. But truth is, a man is not reduced by temporary struggle. A woman is not disrespected from temporary success either. What destroys relationship is not income imbalance. It is pride without understanding. It is insecurity without communication. This is what destroys marriage. It is gratitude without expression. Oh, thank you, but your action says otherwise. Because gratitude changes everything. A grateful man will say, I appreciate your strength, babe, in this season. Thank you so much. And he will act it. A grateful man will say, babe, I see your effort, even when I know you are struggling. She will say, babe, I got you. We're going to go through this together. Now, this is our GEC formula in action. Gratitude to get empowered, be consistent, and build kingdom wealth. This is what we teach. This is how we show up. It's a lifestyle. Now, I'll speak from my own personal life experience. There was a season where I made a change, a drastic decision that changed everything. I traveled back to Nigeria, opened up a business. It was a clear business with a strong vision. I had shareholders' investments, I had borrowed funds too, and I had expectations. I made very fantastic business plan. I had ambition, but reality hits differently. The business did not go as expected, it didn't go as planned. I was stretched on all levels, financially, mentally, emotionally. I was drained. I was struggling to manage operations in Lagos while still keeping responsibilities that are connected to me with life abroad, and vice versa, since I had a business in both countries. But during this period, my wife would carry the home front strong. Mortgage, bills, family responsibility, everything. She had it all locked down. Not because she was earning more money, she was holding things together while I was trying to hold a dream come true for two of us for over 2 years. And at some point, it was obvious I was failing. I felt ashamed. Not just stressed, ashamed. Because I could not meet my own obligations. I could not fully support my home the way I wanted. I could not properly manage the pressure from investors either. And for a moment, I even felt like a failure. I felt like I had failed. But something powerful happened. My wife visited me in Lagos on one of her trips, And instead of condemnation, she was proud of how I have turned things around, what I have achieved. And look, what was this? She brought clarity instead of pressure. She brought encouragement. She said something I will never forget in Principles. If you didn't try, you would never learn. How do we repay these shareholders? Note her words. We. She helped me develop a monthly plan from her income. Again, her income. It was my debt. I spoke with shareholders. It was my dream, but it was her income for repayment plan. She reassured me that we were in this together. She got me. Guess what? That shifted everything for me. She encouraged me to pause and reflect, to reset, to shut down what needed to be shut down, and to open up what needed to be opened up. We prayed. And we began to rebuild again with wisdom. Not with emotion these times. Why still carrying the home front for 2 years alone? This woman, Melly. She did this not as a punishment, but as a partnership. And because of that support, I was able to step back, reflect, rebuild strategy, and re-enter the market stronger. Today, that same business is not only alive, it's growing revenue. Expansion is in view, and even bigger opportunities are ahead. But let me be honest, what looks like failure was actually not failure, it was formation. Strategy was just wrong, maybe timing too, economy too. What looked like delay was actually development in progress. And what held everything together was not pride, it was partnership, it was perception, it was patience, it was grace, it was gratitude. Without my wife's support in that season, the story would have ended differently, very sour. This is what many people don't get. This is what people don't understand. Sometimes your breakthrough is being carried by somebody else's sacrifice, especially when you are blessed with a partner, a help, a wife, or a husband. We're talking about the men, women now, but it works both ways. And if you are not grateful, you will miss the lesson in the season. You have to be grateful to understand what is going on right now. Let's grab this truth in some scripture. Proverbs 18:22. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from God. That means a partnership is not competition. A partnership is favor. A marriage is favor. Even in financial imbalance, there is still favor in a marriage. Remember, it is he who finds, not he who God gives a good wife. No, Oga, now you will go use your leg find your wife. Then you will call her good, and God will favor it. So when you go, look at virtue. Secondly, you must call her a good thing for her to become a good thing for you, and for God to favor that good thing. So even in distress season, she must remain a good thing for you. What do you do with a good thing? You love it, you protect it, you provide for it. Even with your $1, you share it with her, even if she has $1 million. Provision is not about money, it's not about the amount, it is your time, your talent, your treasure. I call it 3 T's: time, talent, treasure. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10. Better are two than one. If either of them fails, one can help the other up. This is marriage. And this is God, not me. This is marriage. Marriage is not perfect, but support in failing and rising is perfect. Philippians 4:11-13. I have learned to be contented with whatever circumstances I am. This is gratitude. This is emotional stability. This is strength in transition. God never promised equal seasons. No, he didn't say it was always going to be smooth. But guess what he promised? Shared strength. That's why when you're weak, I am strong. He balances it like that. The man is not always the talkative and the woman is the talkative. He misses it. To the young men, listen. Your value is not your current salary. Your value is your direction, your vision, your dream, your effort, your strategy, your love for worship of God above all things. God first, non-negotiable. Do not let temporary financial struggle destroy your identity. Build, learn, grow, stay consistent. To my young, beautiful women listening, your success is not a threat, but your wisdom will determine if your success builds or destroys your marriage. A good woman builds her home. Do not let pride lead. Instead, let clarity and grace lead. So my entrepreneurs out here, stop competing with your season. Every season are not for building income. There are some for building your character. There are some for learning discipline, consistency, gratitude. It's not all for investment. But every season requires gratitude. Because in all, give thanks, not in some. Gratitude keeps you grounded while you grow. With gratitude, you always see opportunities. A few takeaways from this lecture. Never let money define respect in your home. Communicate financial pressure early, not when it's late. Replace ego with teamwork language. We, not I. Celebrate your partner's contribution. Make it visible, not invisible. Build financial plan as a unit, not as an individual. Learn to pause and assess your pressure points. Always practice gratitude before correction. Even if you are going to correct, first say thank you first. I had a few questions that I was asked. What if my wife earns more than I do? Oga, it does not reduce your worth. Focus on your growth, communicate and be direct in your leadership. Someone asked me, how do I manage ego as a man in this situation? Just simply replace your ego with gratitude and focus on the long-term purpose. Not just short-term pride, because she not give you food. It's just short-term. Someone asked me, can a marriage survive financial imbalance? Yes, if there's respect, communication, and shared vision. That's why you choose someone you have the same vision with. Someone asked me, what if I feel pressured as a woman anymore? Do not carry resentment. Communicate openly and support your partner's growth. Because at the end of the day, now you will still enjoy it. Someone said, is it wrong to feel uncomfortable when roles change? No, you are a human being. You are a human being. But what matters is how you respond to that discomfort. Someone asked me, what destroys marriage financially? Silence, pride, lack of planning, lack of gratitude and appreciation of your spouse. Someone asked me, what is the strongest foundation for financial peace in marriage? Teamwork, grounded in gratitude and consistency and consistent communication between the two of you. God above it all. If you want to make a difference, start with gratitude. Because a grateful person is a powerful person. Stay grateful to be empowered. Stay consistent. Let's build kingdom wealth. This is how we grow. See you on the next one. Thank you.